The sky above the planet was dark, filled with smoke and fire. The once beautiful cities now lay in ruins, twisted metal and broken buildings scattered everywhere. No one was in sight, only the sound of the wind and distant explosions. Among the rubble, a small alien girl hid behind a fallen wall, her green eyes wide with fear. She was the last of her family, the last of her kind, or at least she thought so. Her heart pounded as she listened to the cries and screams that had faded into silence. Everyone had left her, everyone had abandoned her, except maybe one unknown hope. She remembered the moment her world fell apart. The sudden attacks, the screams of her people. Her parents had told her to run, to hide, but she could not see them anywhere. The streets were empty, the marketplaces destroyed, and the air smelled of smoke and ash. She shivered, hugging herself, feeling smaller than ever. "What will happen to me?" she whispered, her voice trembling. She did not know if anyone would come for her, or if she would be left alone forever. Suddenly, a shadow moved across the broken buildings, silent and careful. The girl froze, her breath caught in her throat. It was not like the attackers, not like the wild creatures that now roamed the ruins. This was something different, something human. A human soldier appeared from behind a crumbled wall, wearing worn armor and carrying a strange device. He looked tired, but his eyes were kind, watching the girl without fear. He did not shout. He did not aim a weapon at her. He only stepped slowly, as if he wanted to make her feel safe. The alien girl wanted to run, to hide, to stay invisible. She had learned that trust was dangerous, that even friends could leave, but something in the human soldier made her pause. He held out a hand, not to grab her, but to show he meant no harm. "I will not hurt you," he said softly, his voice calm and steady. The girl tilted her head, unsure if she could believe him. Her instincts told her to stay hidden, yet her curiosity grew. Could this human be the one who would not abandon her? As she stepped out from her hiding place, a sudden noise made both of them freeze. A piece of rubble fell nearby, the sound echoing through the empty streets. The soldier raised his device, scanning for danger. The alien girl noticed how different he was from anyone she had seen before. He moved carefully, always alert, yet never aggressive. It gave her a strange sense of comfort, a small spark of hope in the chaos. They walked together through the ruined city, each step cautious. The girl kept glancing at him, still unsure if she could trust. She noticed scars on his armor, marks from battles she could not imagine. He noticed her small hands shaking, her wide eyes watching every shadow. They were two strangers in a world that had turned cruel and empty, yet somehow they needed each other to survive. Hours passed, the sky growing darker, the fires casting long shadows. The human soldier led her to an abandoned building, safer than the open streets. Inside, the air was still, quiet, except for the girl's shaky breathing. He offered her food, small packets that were strange but filling. She hesitated, then took it, realizing she was too hungry to refuse. As she ate, she looked at him, trying to understand who he was. "Why are you helping me?" she asked softly, her voice small. The soldier paused, thinking, then replied, "Because no one should be alone out here." The words were simple, but they carried a weight that the girl did not expect. Night fell, and the planet seemed colder, lonelier. Outside, the ruins whispered with the wind, and distant cries reminded them of the destruction. The alien girl curled up in a corner, feeling both afraid and safe. The human soldier stayed close, keeping watch, silent but protective. She could not sleep, her mind racing with questions, with memories of everyone who had left her. Yet for the first time, she felt a tiny hope, that maybe she was not truly alone. Suddenly, a loud roar echoed from the distance, shaking the walls. The girl's eyes widened, and she grabbed the soldier's arm. Trembling, he nodded, readying himself, and whispered, "Stay behind me." The danger was real, and the night was far from safe, but together, they would face whatever came next, even if the entire world had abandoned her. This human soldier had not, and somewhere deep inside, the alien girl knew that this was only the beginning of a journey that would change her forever. The beginning of a bond that no destruction could break. The alien girl followed the human soldier cautiously, her small steps echoing in the empty streets. She wanted to trust him, she really did, but the fear of being abandoned again made her freeze often. Every shadow seemed alive, every sound a threat. The soldier noticed her hesitation, but he did not rush her. He only walked slowly, keeping his eyes on the ruins around them. "Stay close," he said softly. And do not make sudden moves. She nodded, not trusting her voice, her heart hammering in her chest. As they moved, the wind carried strange noises, a low growl, a scraping sound from the broken buildings. The girl's ears twitched, instincts from her childhood telling her danger was near. She took a deep breath, trying to calm herself. The soldier glanced at her, noticing the way she clenched her small fists. There was strength in her fear, he thought, a spark that refused to die. Suddenly, the ground beneath them shook, a building to their left collapsing with a deafening crash. Dust and debris filled the air, and the girl stumbled, nearly falling. The soldier grabbed her arm, steadying her. "Careful," he said, his voice calm but urgent. She looked up at him, surprised at how he moved like he expected danger, yet did not panic. For the first time, she felt a small sense of safety. Maybe he really would protect her. Maybe he was different from everyone else. Hours passed, and the ruined city seemed endless, a maze of broken walls and burned-out buildings. The soldier led her to a narrow alley that was partially hidden from the sky. "Here," he said, "we can rest for a moment." She sat down cautiously, keeping her eyes on every shadow. The soldier did the same, scanning the ruins with a strange device, moving it slowly across the streets. She noticed the way he focused, always alert, never careless. It made her wonder, what kind of human was he, and why did he care about her? As night fell, they shared small pieces of food, sitting side by side, neither speaking much. The alien girl's stomach growled, but she was more curious about the human than hungry. He had a quiet strength, a strange kindness that she had not seen in anyone else. "Why did your people leave you?" he asked finally, breaking the silence. The girl flinched, her eyes narrowing. "They didn't leave me," she whispered. "They couldn't save me." She looked down, hiding her tears. The soldier nodded, understanding more than words could say. "I see," he replied. "Then we will make sure you survive." Together, suddenly, a sound echoed from above, the metal groaning under unseen weight. The girl's heart jumped. She grabbed the soldier's arm instinctively. He held her close, scanning the roof. "Stay still," he said. A figure appeared, tall and shadowy, moving silently among the ruins. The girl froze, her mind racing with fear. The soldier raised his device, aiming carefully, and a bright light shone, revealing a strange alien predator. It hissed, eyes glowing, circling them slowly. The girl had never seen anything like it before. The soldier's calm presence gave her courage, and together they stepped back slowly, never turning their backs. The predator growled, then lunged, but the soldier moved with precision, creating a barrier of light that stopped it. The girl watched, amazed at his skill, her fear mingling with awe. He motioned for her to move quietly, and she obeyed, trusting him more than she had trusted anyone in her life. As they moved away, the predator vanished into the shadows, leaving a quiet that was almost worse than the danger. The girl realized then that she had begun to rely on him, not just for protection, but for hope. Hours later, they reached a small building, half destroyed but safe for the night. Inside, the girl curled into a corner, still shaking from the encounter. The soldier kept watch by the entrance, silent, alert, his face calm but watchful. She wanted to speak, to say thank you, to tell him she trusted him, but the words stuck in her throat. Instead, she simply watched him, noticing how he never lowered his guard, how he always seemed ready for danger. It made her heart feel something unfamiliar, a warmth that she could not name. Sleep came slowly. The alien girl, dreaming of her lost family, of fire and chaos, but the soldier stayed awake, listening, watching, protecting, and in that night of fear and silence, a fragile trust began to grow, a trust that could survive the ruins, the predators, and the cruelty of the abandoned planet. The morning light was pale, casting long shadows over the broken city. The girl awoke to find the soldier still standing guard, waiting silently for her to move. She felt a small smile form on her face, tiny but real. Maybe today would be different. Maybe they could survive. Maybe the bond they were forming would be enough to face the dangers ahead. And as they stepped out into the ruins again, side by side, the alien girl felt the first spark of hope she had felt in a long time. Asterisk. The alien girl and the human soldier stepped carefully out of the ruined building. The pale sunlight barely reached the broken streets, painting everything in shades of gray. The city behind them seemed endless, empty, a tomb for what was once alive. The soldier held her hand briefly, guiding her through rubble and debris. She flinched at every sudden sound, but his presence gave her courage. "Stay close," he said, his eyes scanning the horizon. The alien girl nodded, gripping his hand tightly. They needed to reach the outer lands, a place rumored to be safe, but the journey would not be easy. The wasteland was alive with danger, the soldier had warned her, yet nothing could prepare her for the first step into it. The streets gave way to jagged rocks and endless dust plains. Wind whipped around them, carrying a metallic taste. Strange shapes moved in the distance, shadows that shifted too fast to identify. The alien girl felt her stomach tighten, fear curling round her chest, but the soldier's calm voice reminded her to breathe, to keep moving. He showed her how to listen to the wind, to notice the subtle signs of danger. Slowly, she began to trust him not only for safety but for guidance. As they moved, the alien girl noticed strange markings on the rocks, glowing faintly in the sunlight. "They are old symbols," the soldier said quietly. Left by her people long ago, her heart skipped a beat, recognition flooding through her. She had never seen these markings before, but they felt familiar, almost like a memory. The soldier explained that they were warnings, signs of dangers, and safe paths. She realized then that she was not just lost in the wasteland. She was walking through the memory of her ancestors. Night fell, and the wasteland became colder, darker, and more dangerous. The wind carried distant roars, the echoes of creatures they could not see. The alien girl shivered, but the soldier moved silently, placing himself between her and the shadows. They set up a small camp in a rocky alcove, hidden from view. The girl tried to rest, but the sounds of the wasteland kept her awake. Every snap of stone under unseen feet made her heart race. The soldier sat near her, keeping watch, his eyes sharp even in the dim light. She wondered how one human could be so calm, so precise, in a world that seemed designed to kill them. Suddenly, a bright flash lit the sky, and a creature with multiple glowing eyes appeared. It moved faster than anything she had seen, its claws scraping the rocks. The soldier jumped in front of her, raising his device, a shield of energy forming around them. The alien girl froze, terrified, but then she remembered the lessons of her people. She could move quickly, silently, and with precision. Together, they attacked, the soldier creating barriers, she striking with agility. The creature roared, retreating into the darkness, leaving them shaken but alive. "Good work," the soldier said, a small smile breaking his calm demeanor. The girl felt a strange pride, the first in a long time. For the first time, she realized she could fight, that she was not helpless. She looked at the soldier, and a feeling of connection grew. They were no longer just two survivors. They were a team, each depending on the other, each learning from the other. Days passed, the wasteland testing them at every turn. They faced collapsing cliffs, storms of sand and fire, and creatures that lurked unseen. But with every challenge, the alien girl grew stronger, faster, braver. The soldier never left her side, always guiding, always protecting. She began to see him not just as a savior, but as a friend, a companion in a world that had abandoned her. And slowly, the fragile trust they had built grew into something deeper, something unspoken but undeniable. One evening, as they reached the edge of a deep canyon, the alien girl paused. The view took her breath away, the canyon stretching endlessly, glowing with strange minerals. "It looks dangerous," she whispered. "Can we really cross it?" The soldier examined it carefully, then nodded. "We can, but we must be careful. One misstep, and it could end everything." Her heart pounded, but she felt ready to take the risk because he was with her. Together, they began the climb, each step deliberate, every movement precise. The wind screamed around them, threatening to throw them off, but they moved as one, silent, focused, connected by trust and necessity. As night fell over the canyon, they reached a plateau, safe for now. The alien girl looked at the soldier, her eyes reflecting the starlight. For the first time, she felt hope, fragile but real. Somehow, they had survived the wasteland, and together, they could face whatever came next. But even as they rested, she could not shake the feeling that someone or something was watching, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. And in that moment, she knew their journey had only just begun. The alien girl and the human soldier moved cautiously through the plateau. The starlight shimmered on jagged rocks, casting strange shadows. For a moment, the world seemed calm, almost peaceful. But peace was a fragile thing in this ruined planet. The girl trusted the soldier more than ever, yet a part of her remained wary. She had learned that trust could be broken in a heartbeat, and as they walked, she sensed something was off. A shadow moved behind a rock, silent, too deliberate to be the wind. Suddenly, a figure stepped out, and the girl froze. It was another human, dressed in armor similar to the soldiers, but darker, colder. "Who are you?" the soldier demanded, stepping in front of her. The stranger smiled faintly. "I am here to help." Or maybe not. The girl's heart pounded, every instinct screaming danger. She remembered the warnings of the wasteland, and how creatures and humans alike could deceive. The new human raised a device, and suddenly, an energy net shot toward them. The soldier jumped, pulling the alien girl to safety. "You can't trust anyone easily," he shouted, deflecting the net. The girl realized then that betrayal could come not from monsters alone, but from those who seemed like allies. Her trust in the soldier had been absolute, but now doubt crept in. Could this new figure have been watching them all along? The stranger circled them, moving like a predator. "I've been sent to capture her," the stranger said, eyes fixed on the alien girl. The soldier raised his device, ready to fight. The girl's small hands clenched, her instinct screaming that she needed to act. She had learned to move silently, strike quickly, and she was ready to use every skill she had. The battle began, shadows and flashes of energy filling the plateau. The soldier created barriers, protecting the girl as she darted between rocks. She struck at the stranger with precise movements, her fear turning into determination. Every hit, every dodge, strengthened her courage. For the first time, she realized she was not just surviving, she was fighting for her life, and she was not alone. The soldier was beside her, trusting her as much as she trusted him. The stranger laughed, a cold, cruel sound. "You cannot win. 2 against me." But the soldier's calm, the girl's courage, and their combined strategy confused the stranger. They moved together like one, anticipating each other's actions. The alien girl felt a strange warmth, knowing that someone believed in her. Even if the world had abandoned her, the soldier had not. Suddenly, the stranger's device exploded, sending a shockwave across the plateau. The soldier and the girl were thrown to the ground, dust filling their lungs. For a moment, the world seemed to spin. The girl struggled to stand, her small body aching. The soldier reached out, pulling her up. "We can't stop now," he said, voice steady. She nodded, trusting him completely, even as pain and fear threatened to overwhelm her. They ran through the shadows, the stranger following, relentless. The alien girl's mind raced, thinking of every lesson she had learned, the markings in the wasteland, the creatures they had faced, the soldier's guidance. She realized that survival was not just about strength or skill, it was about trust, courage, and the bonds they formed in the darkness. Finally, they reached a narrow canyon, a place the stranger could not follow. The soldier turned, creating a barrier, holding back their enemy. The girl slipped through, heart pounding, lungs burning. She looked back to see the soldier holding the line, fighting not just for himself, but for her. Tears filled her eyes, a mixture of fear, relief, and gratitude. She realized then that the ultimate betrayal had only strengthened their bond. They were no longer just survivors. They were a team, united by trust forged in danger. As the canyon walls swallowed her, she looked back one last time. The soldier was still fighting, unyielding, unbroken. Her heart swelled with hope and determination. No matter what came next, she knew she could face it, because someone believed in her when the world had abandoned her, and together they would survive. The canyon darkness enveloped her, the sound of the stranger fading behind, but in her mind, a new understanding grew. Betrayal was painful, but courage and trust were stronger, and even in a world of ruin, hope could still shine. The alien girl and the human soldier emerged from the canyon. The wasteland stretched endlessly before them, harsh winds carrying the scent of fire and ash. But this time, they were not running blindly. They had a plan. The final battle was approaching, and they knew it would test every skill, every trust they had built. The enemy had gathered forces, creatures and humans alike, a dark army moving silently across the plains. The alien girl's heart thumped, fear mixed with determination. She looked at the soldier, his eyes calm, unwavering. "You ready?" he asked, his voice steady, giving her courage. She nodded, gripping her small weapon tightly, ready to face whatever came. They moved carefully, using the shadows, climbing rocky outcrops, avoiding patrols. The alien girl's mind raced, thinking of her people, of the ruins they had left behind. She remembered the markings, the lessons, the creatures they had faced. she realized she was stronger than she had ever imagined, not because of the soldier, but because he had shown her she could be. That trust and courage could grow even in a world abandoned and cruel. Suddenly, a loud roar shook the plains. The enemy had noticed them. Creatures with glowing eyes, towering figures, and dark-armored humans advanced quickly. The soldier took her hand. "Stay close. Follow my lead," he said. They moved as one, dodging attacks, creating barriers, and striking with precision. The alien girl used every skill she had learned, her speed and agility surprising even herself. The soldier fought beside her, creating openings, protecting her from the deadliest blows. Hours seemed to pass in minutes, the battle intense, every strike and dodge counting. The alien girl saw a group of enemies surround them, cutting off their escape. Fear rose in her chest, but she remembered the soldier's words. Courage is not the absence of fear, it's moving forward, despite it. With a deep breath, she leaped forward, using a small device to create a flash of light, blinding the enemies. The soldier followed her lead, striking with calculated precision, taking down their attackers one by one. Amidst the chaos, the alien girl noticed a strange energy source at the center of the battlefield. It pulsed with power, threatening to destroy everything around it. The soldier nodded, understanding her thoughts. "That's their core. We destroy it. The rest will collapse." Together, they ran toward it, dodging attacks and leaping over debris. The alien girl's heart pounded, every step a challenge, but she felt alive, more alive than ever before, fighting not just for herself, but for the memory of her people. They reached the energy core, its pulsing light, blinding and powerful. The soldier set his device, creating a field to contain it temporarily. The alien girl climbed onto the core, using her unique abilities to disrupt its energy. It fought back, pulsing stronger, threatening to overwhelm her. But the soldier's voice guided her, calm and confident. "You can do this. I trust you," he shouted. And in that moment, she realized that trust was stronger than fear, stronger than any power. With a final surge, the alien girl disrupted the core, a blinding light exploding across the plains. The enemy forces faltered, confused and disoriented. The soldier took her hand, and they ran, leaping over rocks and debris as the battlefield collapsed behind them. For the first time, the alien girl smiled, tears streaming down her face. They had survived. They had won, against impossible odds. As dawn broke, painting the wasteland in gold and red, the alien girl looked at the soldier, a bond, stronger than words, connecting them. "We did it," she whispered, her voice trembling with relief. He nodded, smiling softly. "No one is truly alone if someone believes in you." She realized then that hope was not lost, that even in the darkest places, courage and trust could create a future. The wasteland was still scarred, the ruins of her people's world remained, but she was alive, and so was the soldier, and together, they were stronger than any enemy. For the first time, she felt something she had not felt in a long time, a sense of purpose, of belonging, of hope. And as they looked toward the horizon, she knew that this was not the end. It was the beginning of a new journey, one where they could face anything together. Even if the galaxy tried to abandon her, she had someone who would never leave. And somewhere deep inside, the alien girl smiled, because she had discovered the most powerful force in the universe. Not weapons, not armies, not energy cores, but trust, courage, and the bond between a human and an alien. A bond that could survive anything, and maybe, just maybe, save a world. Asterisk.